Well, look, it's great to be here with the Premier at Goodwill Engineering. It's good to be with Luke Simkin, my parliamentary colleague, the local member, and to celebrate the work that is done in places like this. You've all seen a fabulous workplace with people of great enthusiasm and high morale, and it's very important that as a national government and as state governments we do the right thing by people with disabilities, and that's what today is all about. It's about a better deal for people with disabilities. Thanks to the agreements that the Premier and I have signed today, we now have a national network of trials for the National Disability Insurance Scheme, and I do say very much trials because I am happy to learn the lessons of these trials. I am happy to look at what works best, and obviously each state has its own slightly different way of doing things when it comes to delivering services to people with disabilities. I commend the way Western Australia has for quite a few years now been working very much through the charitable and not-for-profit sector when it comes to the delivery of disability services, and I certainly do want to learn from how the My Way scheme operates, as well as how the NDIS trials work here in Western Australia. The 3 trial sites will benefit just over 8,000 people with significant disabilities. The Commonwealth's putting in about $80 million, the state is putting in about $50 million, and this is yet another good example of how this government wants to work constructively and collegially with the states. We want our federation to work, and the best way to get the federation to work is to work constructively and collegially with the states and accept the fact that sometimes the states, for all sorts of good reasons, will want to do things their way. Before I take questions, I should observe that this is the final week of the Senate by-election campaign in Western Australia. If the people of Western Australia are serious about getting rid of anti-Western Australian taxes, they've got to vote for Liberal or National candidates. They've got to vote for coalition candidates in this upcoming election. I think the people of Western Australia need to know that Labor is not being straight with you. Bill Shorten won't give you a straight answer about the carbon tax and the mining tax here in Perth, but when he goes back to Canberra, he supports the mining tax, he supports the carbon tax. The reason why we have not yet been able to get rid of the carbon tax or the mining tax, despite the clear popular mandate that this government got last September, is because Labor is voting for the carbon tax and for the mining tax in the Senate. Labor and the Greens are in coalition in the Senate in Canberra, and Labor and the Greens are the reason why we are still stuck with these taxes, which are anti-Western Australian taxes, because in the case of the mining tax, it hurts the iron ore capital of the country, and in the case of the carbon tax, it hurts the energy capital of the country, and it also hits every household in Western Australia with $550 a year in higher costs.